Hello and welcome to MVP The Master's Voice podcast from Mediabrief.com. I'm your host and friend Pavan R Chawla, and I'm delighted today I have with me somebody who is the country head for Pearson India, which is part of the global lifetime learning company called Pearson. Please join me as I welcome, and here he enters the frame, the wonderful and peerless Vinay Kumar Swamy. Vinay is the country head of Pearson India and doing a great job. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for hosting us in your office. My crew and I have flown down to Bangalore today very early this morning. Only about 1/5 of the office is people have arrived, and they will fill up during the course of the normal working hours. But very happy to be here, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Pavan, for you and your entire crew who's doing us a fantastic jobs. I've seen your work, and more than happy to host all of you today
Wonderful.
in our brand new office in Bangalore.
Of course, it's a really wonderful office and absolutely spick and span and beautiful colors, vast expanses, a lot of per capita space for each person. I think it sets standards in Bangalore also.
Absolutely.
But I must also thank 4 people who made this interaction possible. Yes. One, of course, is Bhavya, who is your Corpcom head for Pearson and does so much more for the region under you. And there are 3 other people from your excellent comms agency, your partner at Factors PR. There is someone I really admire there, Preeti Setia.
Yes.
Then there is Shashwat Malik, who works with her, and also another third very, very smart youngster called Rahul Gupta. And yes, from at Factors PR Bangalore or Bengaluru, there's Rolly. So wonderful people doing great work for you. So Vinay, let's start our conversation.
Sure, Pawan.
And I'm going to ask you first to walk us through, my readers, my listeners, our audiences of Mediabrief, through your career so far. I mean, so many years, and you've been with Pearson since, I think, 2016. So it's about, 8-9 years now.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But while you walk us through your experience, let's also walk across your office and show glimpses of it to our viewers.
Sure, definitely.
Let's go. So Vinay, our walkthrough.
Yes.
First, give us a very quick walkthrough across your professional career, please. A professional lifetime in a minute, as it were. So many years, how many years of experience? What were the, sector and function expertise areas that you brought to the table into Pearson India when you joined in 2016?
Yes, 2016 is when I joined. But I started my career as a chartered accountant. I was an independent practitioner for about 7 years. I joined a company called Clutch Group, heading their finance.
How many
for
years?
About 7 years there.
Then?
And then I moved to Pearson in 2016, and I was heading finance as one of the vertical. And then here I am as a country head of Pearson India.
And you came in before COVID.
Yes,
and you've had the entire COVID experience so far. Wonderful. Tell me, what was unique about Pearson India's culture when you joined it?
Pearson has always been integrated into every single learner's lifelong journey. We add life to the lifelong journey of any learner. So that's the beauty of this organization.
That is your customers.
Right.
What about the working culture here? I mean, how did that help you become perhaps an even better person and professional?
One of the key things that Pearson culture is all about, it's all about people and people. And it always recognizes talent. It always gives opportunity for people to keep learning, keep skilling, keep reskilling yourself and grow up the ladder as you go along. And I'm one classic example for you. Started my journey as a finance head, and now I'm leading the country.
That's wonderful. So what are the 2 or 3 learnings that you've always, that have remained with you all your life so far, which you use, 1, 2 or 3 together or, separately in anything that you do?
Okay. The first and the foremost is all about integrity. And I think that's the key for whatever you do in your career or in your personal life. I think that matters the most. The second one is empathy. Have empathy towards your customers, have empathy about your people, And the last one is always the team. The company is what the team is. It's about the people.
Exactly.
So that's the most important thing for me, which I've learned from my career till now.
Wonderful, wonderful. And when you put all three together, then obviously the end result is going to be great business objectives being met.
Absolutely.
So, Vinay, also walk us through Pearson, the parent company.
Okay.
Its lineage, what it's done so far, where it's present. Give me the infographic in less than a minute.
Okay. So you will have to fast forward 180 years of experience that we have. But we started Pearson was started in the year 1844 as a manufacturing company. We moved on to be an oil industry. We then moved into media. Then we entered into education space in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And since then, we have evolved ourselves from the physical textbooks, publishing house, to one of the most digitally transformed education company.
Wonderful. How many years did you say of lineage?
180 years of
180 years of lineage.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. No wonder I think my dad also used to swear by Pearson books. And I think the first edition of Kotler was from you all in India?
Yes, and it continues to be one of our flagship titles for India.
Bestseller.
Not just India, for the Pearson
the
Global.
world. Yeah, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So it's not just the 4 and the 5 P's of marketing, but the original big P of publishing great learning, advanced learning, education books in India, higher education.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So, tell me about Pearson India. Give me the short, quick milestones from its beginning in, what was it, 1997? 97.
It's been almost 30 years now, 3 decades. And we have transformed ourselves again from being a publishing house to one of the digital learning company.
Okay.
Over the period of time, in the last 30 years, we have acquired businesses, we have done acquisitions, we have added people, we have added talent to into the team, and today we work on 3 different verticals.
Yes, the 3 pillars was my next question.
Yes.
In not 3, in 1 minute, just name those 3 pillars that are the 3 verticals that are the pillars of your business in India today.
One of the biggest pillar is the higher education vertical, where we create content. We have globally created content, bringing into India with Indian customization, and we have used a lot of digital components into our content. And the second vertical is English language learning, where we do all the English assessments, proficiency assessments. And the third one is the ELS, or we call it Enterprise Learning and Skilling.
Enterprise Learning and Skilling.
And that's where we do all the skilling. We do verify, we skill, and we assess, and we certify people.
Wonderful. And that's a big potential revenue earner for Pearson.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the need of the hour, and people are wanting more out of that.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, how has Pearson been empowering the education landscape in India with these 3 pillars? You can take a little time on each if you like.
So
one by one. First, of course, is let's go with enterprise learning first.
Okay, I think if you take what does Pearson do, I think that's the most important thing. Into 3 small sentences. One is we create and we distribute content digitally and print, both.
Okay.
The second one is we make people learn languages. Okay, that's the second vertical. And the last one is we skill people and we verify people, those skills, and then give a certification. Now you started with the last one, which is we create skills and we verify and certify people. So we have a lot of programs where we help people use AI's tools to learn the languages.
Correct.
We do give them through Versant, Mondly, kind of programs. And we also have
the higher
occasional BTech programs, which actually helps a learner to be globally employable. So you can do some of the courses here and then go abroad, and you're absolutely fit to get into a job.
Wonderful.
So that's what we do in the English language, enterprise learning and skilling.
English language learning, in short, much shorter than what you just told me about enterprise learning, and then higher education.
Yeah. Pearson Test of English, English language learning. One of our flagship product is Pearson Test of English, where we embedded AI technology almost a decade back. We were the early, embracing the AI technology into our assessment content. We have Talent Lens and Mondly and Versa, and those programs help people to learn languages better. Now, coming to our higher education vertical, like I said, we have spent more than a century.
Come here. More than a century?
More than a century to curate content. And like you said, and we were having a conversation, even your dad swear by the Pearson books,
yes,
right?
So I do too.
Yes. So everybody and most of the viewers who would have touched the lot of content that's come from the house of Pearson.
Okay, remember, just list out those 3 or 4 very, very big books from your...
One of the flagship title is Marketing Management by Philip Kotler, Organizational Behavior by Dexter. We have Robbins. We have Thomas Calculases. Why not? The most used book or the content is the Clark's Table is from Pearson, House of Pearson.
Wonderful.
Right? So we have created those content. Now we have transformed ourselves to embed digital. Use digital AI study tools. We have created the whole lot of video channels that can be help the learner learn better and add life to the lifelong learning of the any learner.
Wonderful. So enterprise learning and skilling, higher education, and English language learning.
Yes.
What are the sizes in your estimation, stroke guesstimation, of these 3 verticals or possibilities in the Indian learning market, if I may call it that?
Absolutely. So let's just take an example of higher education. There are about 4.3 million learners enrolling every year into higher education.
4.3 million learners enrolling every year in higher education.
Now, and that's only 28% of the gross enrollment ratio.
Wow.
And the government is planning to do 50% of gross enrollment ratio. And imagine it's going to double in next 5 to 7 years. This numbers get doubled almost.
Wonderful. What about enterprise learning?
So the enterprise learning, if you were to put it, the entire universe is my...
yes, it's your oyster.
It's not just... a set of people. It needs skilling and reskilling whoever are employed as we speak, as we go along. And
so
we'll talk more about it.
Only limited by the number of corporates and the number of people who work there.
Who are employed.
So the sky is the limit.
Yes.
And what about...
English language learning, and one of the biggest flagship products.
It's a pillar, yes.
It's any student, roughly about every year, if you see, there's almost 1 million learners who travel abroad just to work, study abroad, right? And that's my market size if you were to just start off with.
Okay, wonderful. So in your revenue pie, don't give me absolutes if you don't want to, but in percentages, what do these 3 account for? Obviously, English learning will be the biggest.
So we are a private limited company.
You can't talk about numbers, but in percentage shares.
Yeah, if you see broadly, all the 3 verticals play a key role for us. And if you see our latest financial results, you will see that we grew about 3% broadly in all the verticals that put together for Pearson as a global.
So 100% of revenue.
Yes.
What percentage does English learning take?
I can't give that.
You can't. Okay. You know what? I think we've walked long enough.
Okay.
And we should now continue our conversation sitting down. And, a lot of questions and lots more to speak to you about.
Sure. Please come. Please come, Pavan.
Right. So now that we've stopped our walkthrough, let's continue our conversation, Vinay. Skilling in India and higher education institutions, they are growing, both of them. And they represent a huge opportunity. And what kind of opportunity have they provided to Pearson India?
That's a very good question, Pavan. So let me try and keep it short. So from higher education vertical, we partner with close to about 5,000 higher education institutions, which includes all your IIMs, IITs, your big B schools, name them, and they're one of our customers. We ballpark, we do about 1.2 to 1.3 million learners who use our content, both physical and digital. And
Wow.
that is out of 4.3 million learners that enroll into higher education that we were
Every
speaking
year.
about earlier.
So you actually have what? Close to or slightly more than 1/3 of all the enrollments every
Absolutely.
year.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's the level of impact that we could create in terms of our education. So coming to skill in India, if you see the NEP 2020 is also focusing on skilling India and keeping the learners globally employable as we go along.
That's laudable, actually. It's a very
Absolutely.
good government initiative.
So we offer close to about 2,000 BTech courses across all varieties of it, including your EV to your plumbing to electrification to nursing. So we have a lot of courses that we offer.
More than 2,000.
More than 2,000 courses includes top and your IT skills, you might call. So we have all those courses that we are offering to the customer or the learner, which will only focus on skilling and employability as we go along.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You said you have more than 1.2 million learners across India.
Right.
Maybe slightly more,
Right.
right? How do you enable learning for these many? You did say physical and digital, but there is not a single human teacher involved in that process, right? If I'm not mistaken. So how do you achieve this empowerment of 1.2 million learners?
Okay. Like I said, we partner with close to about 5,000 higher education institutions in India. We work with IITs, we work with IIMs. So our main focus is the institution. So B to I is the critical part for us, which will enable the learners to learn their courses better. And we have started implementing AI study tool into all our digital content that we have brought out. Which will help you summarize, which helps you to explain in detail the same content and also do a self-assessment about what you have learned. So you just take a chapter, you learn digitally, and then you assess yourself to say where do you stand in that particular chapter or particular topic. We have e-text, e-libraries, which we bundle it for the institution where the learners can we have concurrencies, students can use it just like similar library that we used to go into physical library. We have digital library or e-library, we call ourselves, is something that we have that enables this.
Can your AI also, at the request of a student, generate a new test paper from past kind of precedents?
What it will do is on each topic in that particular content, it will create us questions that you can solve to be ensure that you have learned the content better.
Holistically and everything.
So, and it's by chapter. So that's what we do.
You also have tailor-made courses under enterprise skilling, right? So what are the kind of tailor-made courses you've done and for what kind of corporates?
Pearson works with Fortune 500 companies like Amazon, ServiceNow. We've just partnered with AWS. We partnered with ServiceNow. We have partnered with Microsoft. We are working with the big fours, EY, Deloitte.
Google also, I think.
Google also. So we do work with
all the evolved companies.
Absolutely. So we do create, Pearson does create a lot of content and skilling programs for their specific requirement of the corporates. And like I said, we have 2,000 plus courses. We are one of the largest assessment company, and anybody who has written GRE, GMAT, or somebody who takes a high stake exams like testing like Microsoft Azure or Cisco certifications, they all come to Pearson Center for their assessments and certifications. So that's what we do.
So from preparation to assessments to certifications.
Completely, yes.
Excellent. So Vinay, continuing our conversation, I'm really getting a very good idea about what Pearson India does for everybody in India. And I must read this. I saw your excellent Reclaim the Clock, How Generative AI Can Power People at Work. It's a guidance that they published. And it says that Gen AI could help Indian workers reclaim nearly 51 million work hours a week. Right? I mean, I'm not going to, calculate on how many in a year or how many in 3 years. But tell me, how did Pearson derive that data of 51 million work hours a week? Gen AI can help the India workplace save every week.
Yes, the Reclaim the Clock is one of the report that we brought out last year. So for this study, we used our the workforce that's there across US, UK, India, Brazil, and Australia.
The Pearson workforce.
The entire Pearson workforce.
Okay.
We had about 56,000 job roles that we went through. We went to 76,000 tasks approximately that we kind of went through it, and we used machine language learning to kind of recalculate what is the impact of AI technology at the task level. And that's how the 51 million hours of the savings that will come from there. So that's what we have done.
Do you have the India numbers for that? This is 51 million. You're speaking about your workforce in India. Or did you sort of interpolate that to corporates in India?
It's at a task level, and if the technology is involved into that, in India, you will save about 51 million hours of job.
And of course, we are not talking only about the Pearson kind of workforce, which was in the sample that you studied.
Right.
All right. And what can employers and employees do about using Gen AI to empower themselves?
Very good question. There are two things that I would say that the employer should be doing. One is invest in the technology, invest in AI technology, and that it's a need of the hour, and people should spend a decent amount of their kitty investments into that. The second one is to embed AI into their efficiency. It's not just their core operations. It should be in every department. It should be implement AI into each of it. That gives a lot of efficiency.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And you asked me another question, what should employers do? First and foremost is please do reskill yourself in the general AI technology that's coming up in your own core profession. And also, you should also spend in learning more about how to use AI in data analytics or adjacent job that they do. So I think those are two key things that they need to keep doing it.
Excellent, excellent. Anybody who's into any kind of enterprise, service, sector, whatever it is, they have to market it, right? Yeah, so now what my next set of questions about marketing, about reputation are definitely going to be grist to every marketing company or department's people. So tell me, how do you market Pearson India to your TGs in India? What is your marketing vision? How do you look at marketing, and what kind of media mixes do you use in your marketing? Long question. Give me the short answer.
Okay. Yes, marketing is very important for any organization. So a step back. So what is that we are doing? We are creating content that is easily accessible, both print and digital, and we are skilling people and verifying. And we want to reach out to every learner in
and
India,
inform them about it.
Inform about what we are doing. So that's our main agenda, right? So we use multiple platforms. Of course, one of the most important one for us is the social media platforms that we use, which is widely used by the employees as well as the students, the learners, or even the institutions and professors. So we use social media as one of the mainstream branding, marketing activity. Of course, SEO, SMO are some of those marketing activities we do. We run campaigns at a very specific timeline. So as I mentioned, we work with in the test preparation program as well. Whenever there are examinations that are coming, whether it's NEET, JEE, or any other similar examinations coming, we have a focused marketing. Our content is available on Amazon with a lot of campaigns that we run on e-commerce platforms as well.
Okay, so social media, e-commerce, digital search. Yes, you have to be aware. And nowadays, the objective of any marketing campaign is what? It can't be just customer awareness. It has to be customer awareness and customer acquisition in the same breath.
Right.
So tell me about your excellent, I call it excellent, Hoga Kaise Nahi campaign, which starred Vicky Kaushal.
Right.
You know, just the fact that you had Vicky Kaushal was half the battle won. And then what he was selling, which was from Pearson India, I think sort of completed that circle. But still, I want to hear it from you. Tell me about your excellent Hoga Kaise Nahi campaign with Vicky Kaushal. And once you told us about it, we'll play it for our viewers and listeners.
Okay. For any learner to be successful or to clear the examination, the preparation takes a lot of time. And with preparation of so much content and with the focus on the examination, how is it not possible? And that's how we came up with Hoga Kaise Nahi with Vicky Kaushal. Why Vicky? Vicky is one of the known celebrity now who cuts across all target groups.
Yeah, he's a superstar actually.
So he
connects at an emotional level with everybody.
He influences the learners who are the young learners and also to the people who are already working in the job. So that's how we kind of narrowed down to Vicky Kaushal. He himself is an engineer, if you know it, and then he has taken career, the cinema as his career. And that's how we kind of came up with Vicky Kaushal for this campaign.
You know, what I also like about this campaign is that you also played on the kind of nervousness or the kind of fear that youngsters or students, like you laid out the ballpark immediately in the first half of your sentence, which said so much of syllabus, so much of learning to do.
Yeah.
So there was that fear which you brought in creatively, and then Vicky Kaushal saying, "Hoga kaise nahi?"
Correct. When you are prepared with all the content, how is it not possible? So
correct. Let's watch the
of course.
Video here.
Yes, please.
I know that feeling, that nervousness. तैयारी सॉलिड होने के बाद भी मन में आने वाला वो एक हल्का सा डाउट, कैसे होगा? होगा कैसे नहीं? रात भर जागकर तुम्हारा बार बार प्रैक्टिस करना, एक के बाद दूसरा चैप्टर, एक के बाद दूसरी चाय, और इन चाय के कप्स के साथ होगा कैसे नहीं? कभी बेसमेंट, कभी छत, कभी घर का एक अकेला कोना तलाशना, प्रिपेयर कर करके रात को दिन और दिन को रात बनाना। होगा कैसे नहीं? आपके इस होगा कैसे नहीं वाले जोश में आपकी तैयारी को आसान बनाता है पियर्सन। 100 साल का एक्सपीरियंस और डिजिटल लर्निंग टूल्स के साथ पियर्सन, आपका प्रिपरेशन पार्टनर। तो जब तैयारी सॉलिड होगी तो होगा कैसे नहीं?
Really wonderful. I think it's absolutely packed. Great choice of, Star Connect.
Thank you.
All right. So there is marketing. There's the customer awareness, of course, all of that. And then there is the one thing that actually hassles every business head, everybody, okay, which is, what if there's a blip on my reputation? Reputation management. How do you approach the crucial task of reputation management at Pearson India, Vinay? What do you do to get every employee and associate to behave like a brand ambassador of Pearson India, responsibly, with gravitas?
Absolutely. Reputation plays a key role, especially in the organization like us, which creates a lot of content. And the testimony to that is we have been standing for almost 180 years globally and 30 years in India. That shows the testament how rigorous and how crucial reputation is for us. For that, we do a couple of things. One is we have our own in-house public relation team, comms team for ourselves, which is headed by Bhavya, if you...
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier. We have an in-house team that takes care of every single communication that goes from the Pearson's desk. We work with external agencies like, again, you mentioned, and work with Ad Factors, which is one of the best PR agency, which takes care of our external communication. With these two things, we also with a lot of policies and also a lot of training that happens to every individual about the data privacy, about the compliances, about how we behave in the social media platforms. I think it gives us strength to us that, our reputation is, we have airtight the reputation of Pearson in India and globally.
Lovely. In fact, you said your PR agency for external and then your internal comms team for internal. I think both of them work together as a team for both internal and external, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this brings me to my next question, which is, what is the secret, according to you, for great agency-client relationship?
And I think I told you at the very beginning, integrity is the most key factor for this.
Right.
And the second one is the teamwork. It needs to go hand in glove. If one of them is ahead or one of them is behind, it doesn't work. And I think I see this happening fantastically. The handshake happens very beautifully between the
Bhavya's team and
Bhavya's team and the
Preeti's team at
Preeti's team at
Ad
Ad Factors. So that's the success mantra for us.
On the personal front, how do you view what I call or describe as a terrible regression in the human habit of, not buying books, physical books, as much as we used to, in the past? How do you view that? Does it hurt you inside? Because it's a constant erosion of the physical book reading habit. And I know that, if you look at your business, that's a different thing. Digital is really sort of complementing physical. Physical might be in a smaller kind of proportion. But as a person, as somebody who's loved books and likes to read, inhale the aroma of a freshly printed or even an old book. How does that get to you?
You are very right. I think the most important thing that's happening is even it's not just not buying the book, but it's also about the reading habit. Everybody wants a video content or an audio content, or want to read more on the digital digitally, whether it's on their mobile phone or an iPad or any other devices. So the shift has happened between reading to viewing or listening, right? So that's what has happened. But yes, it's painful. But at the given point in time, we as a Pearson, as an organization, we have also kind of moved along the journey, and we have converted our physical content into a digital content. If you are acclaimed to read in Hindi, and you can read my Kotler in 14 different languages, Indian languages.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, you select about 1,000 characters, and it will convert into whichever language you would want to. I think that is kind of keeping us ahead of the curve. You select it and it will read it out for you. Text to speech is something that we are using. So these kind of, an AI study tool we spoke a little bit about, that kind of helps the learner to learn better, because nowadays the students start studying when we all sleep around 9:30 in the night, and they want somebody who can guide them to learn a particular program or help them solving an assignment. And we have an AI study tool which we are embedding into each of those content.
I don't know, maybe I should get some AI to actually count the number of times in the context of Pearson India and Pearson, the global parent. How many times you use words like learn, learning, study tools? So what I'm getting to is that what Pearson India and Pearson, of course, globally, so Pearson India has been doing is, it is, of course, pursuing profit as a business should, but for purpose.
Absolutely.
And that's really a great combination, which empowers, society, economy, everything. What kind of CSR initiatives, direct CSR initiatives, because your business and what you give as your services, I actually look at them as some sort of societal service. But direct CSR initiatives, what kind of them do you do?
So we do, from CSR perspective, we do work with some of the NGOs directly. We do give away the content to the students who are in need of it. We are trying
students who cannot afford
to have a physical book or a digital book. We work with skill development corporations where we can try and not for profit. We even give some of the programs at the cost basis, at the bare minimum cost. We are now tying up with a couple of corporations and National Skill Development Corporation to do a direct CSR activity. And you will hear more from us as the year goes by.
Excellent. I'm Pavan R Chawla. You're with MVP, the Master's Voice podcast from Mediabrief. With me is Vinay Kumar Swamy, Country Head, Pearson India. Vinay, why should Indian learners opt for Pearson India's learning offerings?
Why not, Pavan? Pearson has been there in India for last 30 years. And globally, we have been there for almost 180 years. And our business has been creating and curating content. We are empowering learners under 3 different verticals in India: higher education, English language learning, and skilling. And all of this powered by AI and other digital programs from globally. And this is only going to make the learner's experience much better. And hence Pearson India for every learner in India.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm Pavan R Chawla. With me is Vinay Kumar Swamy, Country Head of Pearson India. I know the answer for myself, but I want you to tell the fans of Vicky Kaushal.
Okay.
Why did you choose Vicky Kaushal for the lovely Hoga Kaise Nahi campaign?
Pavan, Pearson India chose Vicky Kaushal because Vicky Kaushal connects emotionally with every single every fan base in India. And our target is exactly the same. It's a learner from the school to a person who is already employed and working.
And to their parents who want to pay.
And to the parents, of course. So Vicky is also kind of comes out as a person who actually, what would I say? He shows the fruits of a hard work.
The success that
comes out of hard work, right?
So, you nailed the answer there, I think.
And hence Pearson India chose Vicky Kaushal.
Absolutely wonderful. This is Pavan R Chawla on MVP The Master's Voice podcast. With me is Vinay Kumar Swamy, Country Head of Pearson India. Vinay, how is Pearson India helping corporates upskill their workforce through your enterprise learning offerings? What measurable outcomes are there?
Pavan, Pearson helps corporates to learn languages through AI-driven languages tools. We do verify the skills, English proficiency skilling through Versant and Modelly kind of products. Every corporate would be looking for an performance-based outcomes, and Pearson has been in this business for a long time through the certification as well. So that's how we have been skilling and reskilling the global workforce.
Excellent. And it's really the future, one big part of the future for you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So Vinay, I have enjoyed my conversation, a lot of insights into Pearson and learning, and I understood a lot more about the 3 major verticals and how they are going to empower Pearson India to empower learners for a lifetime, in lifelong learning. What did you think of your chat with me on MVP The Master's Voice podcast today?
One wonderful conversation. You brought out a lot of things that I knew about Pearson and wanted to spread a lot of stuff with the viewers. Thank you to you and the entire crew who kind of put this podcast together in the MVP for me. Thank you so much, Pavan, and thank you to the lovely team that you have.
You're very, very welcome. And I'd also like to thank you for your time. And thanks once again to Bhavya of your CopCom team, Preeti Setia, Shashwat Malik, Rahul Gupta, and Rolly of At Factors PR, who have really helped us make this podcast sort of come alive, because, a lot of work goes into this entire coordination, into understanding about you all, knowing more about you. And I hope that this podcast and your wonderful conversation with me will have helped people know about Pearson and spread the good word of the good work that you do as Pearson India in India. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pavan.
So that was Vinay Kumar Swamy on MVP The Master's Voice podcast with me, Pavan R Chawla, your host and friend from Mediabrief. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did and found it extremely insightful and very, very useful to me. Till we meet again in the next episode of MVP The Master's Voice podcast, this is your host and friend Pavan R Chawla saying, take care, stay safe, keep learning for a lifetime. Bye-bye.